and gentlemen, ready for countdown. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, ignition.
Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to do this thing called life. Electric word life is forever. That's my long time. But I'm gonna tell you something else.
Man, this is some of the greatest stuff I've ever heard. Ooh.
These go to 11.
Here at TWRS, we're always here to help our squad when they need a little push in the right direction. That's just who we are. We're a beautifully diverse group of goofballs dedicated to driving fake race cars as fast as possible. And we continue to push each other to the front using the power of nonsense. We have one of the strongest NASCAR programs on the service, and you can access it all for $24.99 a month. And we just released individual subscriptions for $14.99 a month for each NASCAR vehicle. We also just added a Rallycross program, and our IndyCar program is taking off as well. So come join the weird side. We have speed and cookies. Cookies are not included in some locations.
If you love the thrill of racing but hate the risks, then buckle up. Everything Simulated is here to merge adrenaline with absolute safety. In a world where technology meets adrenaline, Everything Simulated is revolutionizing driver training with state-of-the-art simulators. From truck training to the thrill of motorsports, our simulators offer the most realistic experiences across all automotive applications. Gone are the days of endless bookwork and basic drills. Now it's all about hands-on, pulse-pounding action that prepares you for the real deal. Whether you're maneuvering a heavy mining vehicle or racing a high-speed car, our simulators, equipped with cutting-edge technology from leaders like Simrigs and Track Racer, bring every nuance of the drive to life. And talk about making a mark. We're not just building simulators, we're fostering talent. From grassroots motorsports to professional series like the Aussie Outlaw GT3, sponsored by us, Everything Simulated is fueling dreams and careers. Ready to feel the excitement of the racetrack under your fingertips? Connect with us, and let's build your next simulator adventure together. Remember, we support those who support us. Join the Everything Simulated family, and let's race towards the future.
Good evening, race fans, and welcome back to round 6 of the season 2025B Doogie Mobile and Everything Simulated OzOVals V8 Supercar Series. Brought to you by TWR Setups, 131 Web Radio Network, and Inside Lane Productions. Kobe Jordan in behind the cameras, and back in the booth tonight is James Watson. How you going, James?
Oh, going all right. Happy to be back from sabbatical and back in the broadcast booth at this arguably the most unique track on the entirety of the OzOVals schedule this season.
Well, looks like it's going to be a fun night for us in the booth and those on track tonight, but we'll see how that unfolds as the evening goes. We recap from last week, round 5 at Chicagoland. We saw Gary Wellman take the win for the Sim Boys over Southern Stars, Adam Malone and Ryan Barber, who managed to come home coughing and spluttering. Fuel levels were pretty low and some drivers even running out of fuel on the last lap. So a little interesting turn of events at Chicagoland last week. But, we are at Motegi Mobility Resort Motegi tonight for 110 laps with 50% fuel load and 4 sets of tyres. So Motegi, not a track we commonly race in the Australian oval sort of series that we run. So we'll see who has put in the practice for tonight, or who's got the old natural talent to show up and race and do well like most of us do, or try to do, like myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nope. Go on.
That's all right. We got our standings for the championship on screen at the moment. So Troy Davidson, who's not actually racing tonight, is taking a provisional for this round as he's on holidays. So currently the championship leader, followed closely by Gary Wellman. It's only 1 point separating them at the top. Ruben Phelps was our championship leader last week, so he's dropped back a little bit to third. Braden Sagas 4th, Andy Barber 5th. So things getting quite tight in the top 5 there. Not too much, only 20 points between 5th to 1st. And then the others just fallen back slightly for the top 10. Yeah,
with
qualifying now, James.
Yeah, with Troy on his own sabbatical here, it's really going to shake up the championship standings. This is a big opportunity for everyone else in the top 5, Gary, Ruben, etc., to really try to help out their own cause for the championship.
Yeah, for sure. He will get a 20 points, but that won't do too much if drivers don't use that provisional round that they have. So he'll have to get a few wins under his belt in the coming races to try and make up that. So we are in qualifying at the moment. Shannon Wright currently sitting at the top with Nicholas Walsh. Oh, no, Adam Malone. Things just updating a little bit slow on my end. So Adam Malone at the top now with 37.7. So the only driver in the 37s at the moment. Definitely going to be a interesting race tonight to see who can look after their tyres. Heard that maybe 4 sets might not be enough for some, so we'll be keeping an eye on if anyone's getting meatballs throughout the race.
Yeah, this is obviously not the track that we're all accustomed to seeing in this series. It's pretty much, it's pretty low bank compared to a lot of the other 1.5 miles that we go to. It's like Gateway, but slightly bigger and flipped. Because, at Gateway, turns 1 and 2, the big corners are a lot less grippy and a lot harder to get through, where 3 and 4, it's flat out at times. Here, it's the opposite. You're basically flat out through 1 and 2, but for at least in most cars, but 3 and 4, especially turn 3, it feels like you have no grip entering the corner, just so much understeer. And then sometimes you'll even get like a oversteer on throttle trying to force the car through the corner. So seeing everyone kind of struggle and work through that, it's going to be real interesting.
Definitely. It looks like pit road might be a fun one as well, trying to come off turn 4, coming into pit lane. So definitely going to run that on that low line around sort of turn 3, 4 when they're coming into pit lane. So that's going to slow things down a bit as well, coming around the corner for the others behind that won't be pitting. So
Yeah.
About 30 seconds to go in qualifying, so we'll go to a quick ad break and we'll be back with our starting grid soon. Alrighty, we're back and qualifying is finished. Drivers are just gridding up now, and we've got our starting grid up on screen. So taking pole tonight at Mobility Resort Raceway, Motegi is Adam Malone with Andy Barber alongside for Southern Stars front row. Kate Donnelly and Gary Wellman for Simboys second row. Rick Vincent and Ryan Barber, third row. Todd Maxfield and Scott McClintock in the fourth row. Shannon Wright and Tom Pritchard, the fifth row for your top 10.
And on row 6, we have the 222 of Nicholas Walsh and the 099 of Kim Rafi. Row 7 features the 18 of Jay Chandler, a new driver of the series, and the 06 of Ruben Phelps. Matty Raymond in the 80 and Jason Tyerman in the 82 on row 8. Troy Mortensen in the 83 and Colin Bennett in the 242 on row 9. And that rounds out your field.
Well, drivers making their way out of pit road, not even starting on the track tonight. So coming out of pit road and making their way around. So going to be an interesting one for me. I've got no trading paints on tonight, so I can't even tell who's who with cars. So I'll be relying on Kobe a bit there with his pictures. Looking forward to apparently there's a new paint for new driver Jade who's joining the Simboys, I think, if that's the correct driver. So we'll get some close-ups of that one for you in a bit. I think the boys did a bit of hazing stitch-up job on him. So
oh man,
have a look at that one.
Definitely one of the crappier paints I've seen.
Oh man, shitty thing to do by the teammates, isn't it? Yeah, that's a bit of Aussie hazing there at its finest. So I don't know if you get that in the US, but we are going
we sure
green.
do.
Going green, so Adam Malone and Andy Barber lead us off on the front row. As we go green, 110 laps at Motegi. Andy Barber around the outside, getting a nice run on the start.
3 wide for P3.
Ryan Barber just cutting the nose off there on Wellman.
Yeah, he barely had enough room to pull that move off, and no more than that.
Well, Southern Stars 1, 2, 3 currently. Andy Barber, Adam Malone, Ryan Barber. They've already lined up at the front of this race. Hopefully Andy Barber makes it to the finish line this week. Has enough fuel and got his crew chief all sorted after last week.
Yeah, I think he's been spending all week studying the finer points of iRacing auto fuel.
Or just sacked the previous crew chief and got a new one.
Oh, 3 wide again.
A little bit wide in the background there. It's Rick Vincent, Kate Donnelly side by side at the moment.
Yeah, I think starts and restarts we may see. Obviously, we're well familiar with aggressive restarts in the series, but part of me wonders. And around goes Vincent. And this is a bit.
There's gonna be cars.
There's still more con. Oh man. Oh, that nuked like a quarter of the field.
Rick Vincent getting a bit loose there, and then Kate Donnelly giving him a helping hand. Back a little bit on that one because Rick was in front of Cade in that replay, so might need to get the fast forward going. Yeah, just going under the white line there, and not sure if it was. I think it's the next corner here. Okay, had a pretty good run into the corner there, and there you see Rick just getting loose in the rear, and Nicholas Walsh, Tom Maxfield there, one of the everything simulated cars coming through. Good job on Rick Vincent, Tom Maxfield, just holding that gap there for everyone to come through, but looks like maybe someone else got collected with the everything simulated car, Shannon Wright maybe. Maybe Scott McClintock coming through.
Looks like yeah.
And Troy.
Well, that's a crappy debut for Jay Chandler.
I think that race has been flushed down the toilet for him now.
Yeah, Shannon Wright with the meatball, and the fact that the right front wasn't quite touching the ground, I can't imagine why. Yeah, like you said, Paul, Vincent got a little sideways, and Kay was right there, and normally you kind of, if you see a car sideways in front of you, you might kind of check up and give them an opportunity to try to save it. I feel like Kate probably would have done that if there wasn't if there was a different logo on the back of that Camaro. So yeah, just kind of continued Rick onto the path he was taking down to the inside wall, and yeah, right, and the 16 had nowhere to go. And then I don't know how much damage Shannon had, but that 023 just kind of scooted all the way back across the track after that, right in front of Chandler, who had nowhere to go.
Well, we are under caution. Might get a quick word from a driver. Okay, Donnelly, you got a copy there?
All right, thank you for secrets.
I think that was in iRacing, that copy. But just under caution, get a quick chat with you. Rick Vincent getting a bit loose there in front of you.
Yeah, I couldn't really do much about it. I sort of apologised to him, but I guess I'll get the pineapple for it. But a bit unfortunate.
That's all right. We did see he was losing it a little bit in the rear, and yeah, you had a good run into that corner, but yeah, unfortunately, nowhere to go, and around she went.
And real quick, Cade, I don't know if it seems this way to you, but on our screen, it looks like we got some significant front end damage. It looks like the front of that Mustang is caved in.
Really?
Yeah.
Alrighty. Well,
She's
we're
still
going
screaming,
green.
mate. So we'll see how she goes.
We're going green. We'll chuck you back, Cade. But thanks anyway for jumping in. Right,
Yeah, so far it doesn't really seem to be affecting him that much, but yeah, at least from what I could see, it looks pretty significant, but I hope for his sake that I am in fact wrong, which as we all know is very often.
It does look like the front aero on the bars sort of bent up a bit in the middle there. So, I don't know if Kobe can get us a nice close-up on that one. Might be able to see the front bumper for us.
Ooh.
See there in the middle. So, looks like a little bit of a gap there to the Ryan Barber in front. So, might be losing that draft maybe. Or the Barber's just pushing pretty hard early on, trying to get a gap.
Yeah, honestly, it's hard to say. I feel like of all the tracks that are on the schedule this season, this has to be one of the worst for dirty air. Because I know every time I've raced here, aero wash is an absolute nightmare. Just something about the lower banking and the way this track is designed, it just is so hard to follow along. That's why we got lucky with this last restart being pretty clean and straightforward, but I'm nervous about some of these restarts because of that dirty air. You're going to see more aggression trying to get which as many spots as you can before the aero wash starts to take effect and everyone really starts to string out. Because like you can see, these are some of the biggest gaps from car to car that we've seen all season. Like this is an average about a car length or so for most of the field.
And definitely Adam Malone making his way past Cade Donnelly, so not sure on that restart and pit stops under caution. Just dropped back a little bit from the front there, so making his way back up to his teammates. Just on the nose of Tom Pritchard there as well, trying to get through. So Southern Star's trying to control the race from the front at the moment. Control the race pace. Matty Ray there. I think that's Colin or James? Jason. I can't tell with my paints tonight, so that was Colin. Well, here we had a little bit of fun yesterday there, James. Your retro injury race ran yesterday, so tell us a little bit about that one, how that went.
Yes, sir. It was just as much of a dumpster fire as we all expected, and God bless it. You know, all things considered for what it was, having the Lotus 4979 2009 IndyCar, the IR01, and the lovely sprint car all on the same track. You know, we got all kinds of big, crazy wrecks and so much destroyed race cars, but it was still a lot of fun. Everyone had an absolute great time. I think it might have been the biggest turnout we've seen in the 5 editions of this event. So I'm just super grateful for everyone that jumped in and, helped spread the word. I gave Kobe a big shout out because Kobe was a huge help in recruiting and getting the word out there, and obviously help having Inside Lane Productions being the broadcast for the event. So yeah, it went off spectacularly, and cannot wait for next year, and cannot wait for the Soda and a Smile in December, which is our second of our 2 major Melee A races, which I'll get to later on in the show as we see a nice little 3-car battle here.
Yeah, well, you'll have to keep that one up your sleeve for a rainy day into the coming months, and let everyone know when that's going to drop, and give us some more info so everyone can join in on that one.
Yes, sir. Thankfully, we have some time until it gets started. Around, will probably be the 1st or 2nd weekend of December. I'll have to look into that and get a actual concrete schedule for it.
Matty Reagan, a nice run up alongside Kim Roffey out of turn 4 and getting real close into turn 1 there.
Yeah.
Get that job done.
Yeah, this is a type of race where you really gotta keep your eye on this 80 car. Matty Raymond has a pretty extensive history of being good in these tire conservation type races, and like you mentioned earlier with the tire wear that we've been hearing, you've really got to take care of these tires, otherwise you are gonna be hurting. But if you can take care of them, you're gonna gain some serious time at the back end of these tire stints.
Well, it'll be a whole different strategy with Motegi, because there's probably going to be not many that know what to expect here, and I believe there's a couple of drivers that haven't even raced here before, so it's a bit of a mixed bag tonight for everyone.
Yeah, this is definitely much more of an open wheel track than it is anything with vendors. Like, you hardly see this track used in the majority of NASCAR leagues and official series. So certainly not these things. So like I said earlier, it's already kind of an aero wash fest with the open wheel cars, and it's got to be like even worse with how aero sensitive the Gen 3 Supercar is.
Well, we're coming up 20 laps into 110 at Motegi, so might go to a quick ad break. We'll come back and we'll see how our pit stop strategies are going to work tonight.
Here at TWRS, we're always here to help our squad when they need a little push in the right direction. That's just who we are. We're a beautifully diverse group of goofballs dedicated to driving fake race cars as fast as possible. And we continue to push each other to the front using the power of nonsense. We have one of the strongest NASCAR programs on the service, and you can access it all for $24.99 a month. And we just released individual subscriptions for $14.99 a month for each NASCAR vehicle. We also just added a Rallycross program, and our IndyCar program is taking off as well. So come join the weird side. We have speed and cookies. Cookies are not included in some locations.
If you love the thrill of racing but hate the risks, then buckle up. Everything Simulated is here to merge adrenaline with absolute safety. In a world where technology meets adrenaline, Everything Simulated is revolutionizing driver training with state-of-the-art simulators. From truck training to the thrill of motorsports, our simulators offer the most realistic experiences across all automotive applications. Gone are the days of endless bookwork and basic drills. Now it's all about hands-on, pulse-pounding action that prepares you for the real deal. Whether you're maneuvering a heavy mining vehicle or racing a high-speed car, our simulators, equipped with cutting-edge technology from leaders like SimRigs and TrackRacer, bring every nuance of the drive to life. And talk about making a mark. We're not just building simulators, we're fostering talent. From grassroots motorsports to professional series like the Aussie Outlaw GT3, sponsored by us, Everything Simulated is fueling dreams and careers. Ready to feel the excitement of the racetrack under your fingertips? Connect with us, and let's build your next simulator adventure together. Remember, we support those who support us. Join the Everything Simulated family, and let's race towards the future.
You've got what it takes.
Ladies and gentlemen, ready for countdown. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, ignition.
Dearly beloved, we ready to this thing called life. Electric word like swirling, that's my long time. Down in attack. Something else.
Man, this is some of the greatest stuff I've ever heard. Ooh.
These go to 11.
Alrighty, welcome back everyone. Thanks for tuning in tonight for round 6 of the Doogie Mobile and Everything Simulated OzOVals V8 Supercar Series. While we're under our ad break there, a little bit of action on screen. Tom Pritchard looks like he's got the old meatball for the tyre wear there, having a bit of trouble even trying to get it into pit lane. So managed to just pull it up, but running wide through the corners as well. So just struggling on the tyre wear there, coming up to lap 30. So
Yeah, I was
28.
watching him and he was plummeting down the order. Those tires were fire roasted, even nearly Larson line 1 and 2, which if you've ever driven here, you know if you're having to do that, you are in trouble.
Well, I mean, if you can make your tyres last your fuel run, then you'll be doing pretty good. If you got to shorten your stints to, every sort of 25, 30 laps, then you will be in trouble. Yeah. Ruben Phelps working his way up into 4th, so he's slowly coming through the field as well while we're under ad break. We're trying to chase down Adam Malone in front, but 10th off that pace, and the Barber's still running quite quickly up the front there. So the only 2 and 38 second laps. Ryan having a blinder lap behind Andy then, last lap.
Yeah, this is a phenomenal race for Southern Stars. 1, 2, 3, and emphatically so.
Further back, we got a little battle going on with Todd Maxfield, Jason Tillman, and Matty Ray, and Wellman just in the background off that one as well. So there's little groups and little battles happening around. But, pretty spaced out for the most part with everything. Not quite at our reached pit stop stage yet, because we did have that first early caution. Drivers doing a good job looking after their tyres at the moment to get them a bit further and get them through to that pit stop. Big moment there for Jason Tillman coming in hot.
Yeah. Oh, hello.
Wide. To run that really wide around turn 4.
Yeah, I think that's because you saw a wild Matty Raymond appear to his inside. Yeah, that 80 car is coming with a full head of steam.
We'll see how much he can pull away from Todd Maxfield. Jade coming into pit lane now. Looks like a bit of damage on that front right side of the car as well. And wearing a meatball for that one as well. That tyre is looking a bit of an angle there though on the front right. That getting close to the wall there, but can't quite tell if there is a bit of damage on there. It sort of blends in with the paint.
Yeah, and it's hard to say how much of it is lingering damage from the early incident. You know, the pit crews, they work hard, but you know, you can't polish a turd.
Oh, Jason Wyman, pit lane, losing it coming in. I heard a little bit of a wall scrape. I was going back in that one while we were just under that replay. So pit entry. He's got the car slowed down and then it just went out from under him. Just got that on screen at the moment. Making his way off track into pit lane and into pit wall. And we had a couple of other drivers come through pit lane as well, almost saying hi, teammates there, Colin and Troy. So, that's one way to take out the team.
Yeah, it looked like just a little too much rear brake bias on that final phase of getting it woed up for pit speed entry and just went around.
Now, looks like they've slapped another bumper on the front of that car coming out of pit road, so might have got a little bit of damage fixed up on that one.
And it's amazing how quickly you can get that put back on these cars when you have it ripped off.
I mean, duct tape fixes everything. You just tape it on and off you go.
Amen.
Well, Rick Vincent currently with Shannon Wright and Troy Mortensen, little pack there. I think the positions are just out a little bit on that group though and running. So Troy down a lap, Shannon Wright down 9. But little group of cars there at the moment. Andy Barber looking to try and put down Jason another lap. 1 lap down at the moment. A little smaller grid tonight. We only got 18 cars on track as well. With I think Scott McClintock was the first to retire. Tom Pritchard's actually retired now as well. 2 drivers out, down to 16. And there's a few cars still down quite a few laps though. We only got 10 cars on the lead lap at the moment.
Yeah, father and son are putting an absolute beatdown on everyone so far. For as bad as tire wear has been from what we've seen and what we heard, doesn't look like it's affecting these two at all. Like, they've dropped their third teammate, Adam Malone, by 4 seconds. And it really doesn't seem like they're losing a whole lot of pace. So they only have to go another 15 laps to be able to make it on, have that be their last stop, get on 1 stop. So we see Donnelly down.
Well, it's going to be interesting if Kate Donnelly's coming in now, but our Charger's out the front, still yet to pit, so yeah, it'll be interesting if they're coming into pit lane now.
Never mind that.
There we go.
Trails.
Talk about it, it'll happen.
Sigh.
So with that, we're going to have to make another stop to get home.
Yep.
Could have almost been looking maybe at a 3-stopper if that caution hadn't come out. Would have been close, but I think we'll go the 2-stop in race with the 1 under caution.
Yeah, the 1 stop definitely would have been a tall ask, but I really wanted to see if someone would try it. And it seemed like they could have with the pace that they were running, but yeah, ultimately this is the smarter strategy.
Looks like Todd Maxfield's chewed those tyres off. He's got a meatball and coming into pit lane, so just doing enough to make those tyres last in that fuel run. Looks like Phelps is now in the same boat, so tyres starting to pop out on track there. Matty Ray, I think, might be staying out on track still, so no, he's in pit lane.
Nope.
He's trying to watch the timer there, and I was closing down, but it's closing down because he's sitting in pit lane. So currently, looks like Rick Vincent might be the race leader, but probably yet to pit.
Honestly, I'm not entirely sure because before everyone started coming down pit road, Rick was about like 30 seconds off of the lead. So part of me wonders if he already stopped and that's
Well,
why he's out front right now.
if Kobe brings up the last pitted, we should see when he last pitted 39 laps. So
Nope. Yeah, he is not stopped.
that's interesting. He would have stopped under the caution. So based on that, I think a few drivers didn't stop under that caution.
Yeah.
That's very interesting that that happened. A little bit of a different strategy going on there.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna wildly speculate pit strategy again, like I always do, and end up being proven wrong. But I'm gonna say he might be considering a one stop, and probably here he comes about to. He's probably gonna hit pit road in about 3, 2. Are you serious? Are you serious?
I don't think Kobe could have timed that any better on the cameras either. You got that countdown nailed then.
Oh my. Whoa. Oh boy. Oh, you can't make that up. You can't make that up. That's just. Oh my god. I'm done.
We'll put that one on the bloopers reel for the end of the season.
Oh man.
Well, some good pit stops happening through the field there. Ryan Barber taking over the lead, so the student becomes the teacher, showing our Andy Barber how to make a pit stop. Kate Donnelly back into fourth, Kim Roffey up into fifth. So Ruben Phelps dropping back to seventh through pit stops there. Colin Bennett up into the into sixth as well. So nice little run from Colin.
Yeah,
that. Some early stop strategies though, I think there as we've got in our air. So yeah, the mix of strategies on track is going to throw us off a bit.
Yeah, obviously Ruben and Raymond went for a little bit of a overcut by a couple laps, but wow, just a couple laps later and that is a lot of time loss. Like Ruben was like 5 seconds off of the lead Barbers for pit stops, and he lost 12 seconds from that. Are we sure there wasn't any sort of issues on his pit stop? Because, like, that's still a lot of time loss. That is wild.
They had a pretty quick stop. Kim Roffey had a really fast stop, and Colin Bennett 22-24 seconds. So
yeah,
some quick stops there coming out. Adam Malone.
Yeah, that it really kind of pushes that point home of how valuable the undercut is this week.
Well, we're coming up halfway, so a couple of laps to go. Halfway here at Motegi. We're back on 12 cars on the lead lap now, so Troy Mortensen, Nicholas Walsh unlapping themselves. A little bit more of a bunch up, a few more cars, so still got those big gaps there. Nice little cut there from Todd Maxfield on that corner too, going dropping down below the white line.
Yeah, it seemed to work for him.
Just have a look at that again, coming into 1 and 2. Not sure if everyone's doing that, or there's just some that might have worked out. They can cut it a little bit, getting real close. No.
Yeah, or at the very least, it doesn't seem to be that violent to the car to hit it. Like, it doesn't seem to upset it all that much, which is hard to wrap my head around with my experience this track and knowing how unpleasant hitting the apron is and how dangerous it is.
Looks like he's got a fair bit of pace because he's chasing down Colin Bennett pretty quick there as well. So I think that's the older tyres possibly for Colin. I'm not sure if Colin's pitted yet, but you can see there's a lot more pace on their 19 laps. So yeah, 8-lap newer tyres there for Todd Maxfield. Phelps on a similar strategy there. So we'll see if these new tyres and the extra laps will help.
Yeah, it's going to help a lot, but I don't know how much because of how much time they lost just from those added few laps of being out compared to everyone else. Like, the overcut is only really effective when you're able to stretch it another 10 plus laps than everyone else, because that's when you really kind of start to see the tire offset and have it be able to work in your advantage. But when your only choice is 3, 4, or like 8 laps for Maxfield, it just is, it's not the way to go, because you see how much time it added, and that difference in laps, it's negligible. So it's just not as helpful. And it even looks like Phelps is starting to lose a little bit, because now he's 18 seconds behind these two.
Well, it's definitely the Barber show tonight.
Yeah.
Showing everyone how to drive at Motegi.
Yeah, you don't need to worry about fuel if you're absolutely taking the field behind the woodshed.
Well, like father, like son, both running at the front. So the 5 and 05, Andy Barber, Ryan Barber, showing how it's done at Motegi tonight. Well, with that, and we've rolled over halfway, so we might go to another ad break, and we'll come back with you shortly.
Here at TWRS, we're always here to help our squad when they need a little push in the right direction. That's just who we are. We're a beautifully diverse group of goofballs dedicated to driving fake race cars as fast as possible. And we continue to push each other to the front using the power of nonsense. We have one of the strongest NASCAR programs on the service, and you can access it all for $24.99 a month. And we just released individual subscriptions for $14.99 a month for each NASCAR vehicle. We also just added a Rallycross program, and our IndyCar program is taking off as well. So come join the weird side. We have speed and cookies. Cookies are not included in some locations.
If you love the thrill of racing but hate the risks, then buckle up. Everything Simulated is here to merge adrenaline with absolute safety. In a world where technology meets adrenaline, Everything Simulated is revolutionizing driver training with state-of-the-art simulators. From truck training to the thrill of motorsports, our simulators offer the most realistic experiences across all automotive applications. Gone are the days of endless bookwork and basic drills. Now it's all about hands-on, pulse-pounding action that prepares you for the real deal. Whether you're maneuvering a heavy mining vehicle or racing a high-speed car, our simulators, equipped with cutting-edge technology from leaders like Simrigs and Track Racer, bring every nuance of the drive to life. And talk about making a mark. We're not just building simulators, we're fostering talent. From grassroots motorsports to professional series like the Aussie Outlaw GT3, sponsored by us, Everything Simulated is fueling dreams and careers. Ready to feel the excitement of the racetrack under your fingertips? Connect with us, and let's build your next simulator adventure together. Remember, we support those who support us. Join the Everything Simulated family, and let's race towards the future.
You've got what it takes.
Ladies and gentlemen, ready for countdown. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, ignition.
Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to make this thing called life. Electric word like the destroyer me, that's my long time. I'm gonna tell you something else.
Man, this is some of the greatest stuff I've ever heard. Ooh.
These go to 11.
Alrighty, welcome back everyone to Motegi, round 6 of the Doogie Mobile and Everything Simulated OzOVals V8 Supercar Series. Shout out to our other sponsors, TWR Setups, 131 Web Radio Network, and Inside Lane Productions for putting on the broadcast each week. On screen there, we've got the Wattspin 39 code. So that is for the TWR Setups, a little 10% discount code you can put in when you are making a purchase on the TWR Setup site. A nice little discount bonus. Lap 71 of 110. Still leading for most of this race, Andy Barber, followed closely by Ryan Barber. Adam Malone in behind, 5 seconds back. Currently, without the commentator's curse happening, the podium's going to be a Southern Stars podium tonight. Looks like Kim Roffey coming down pit lane at the moment there, James.
Yep. Gonna have our second round of pit stops start here soon. Well, this is definitely on the earlier end. We've seen Kim try these strats earlier in the season, the heavy undercut, and get a caution, and that would fall perfectly into Kim's hands. But that doesn't seem super likely at this point. Famous last words.
I think we've had a couple of pit stops because we're down to 9 cars on the lead lap at the moment. So did see Joe Chandler had another meatball in pit lane. Troy Mortensen with a meatball now as well. I think Jason Tyman has retired from the race as well. So that's 3 retirees now.
Yeah, unfortunately, he's now retirement. Thank you. I'll be here all week. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, Ruben Phelps there trying to chase down Wellman for the 5th spot at the moment. So not sure what strategy Wellman was on, but we know Phelps had a pretty good set of tyres on that car. We'll see he's going to make easy work of that one. Upcoming races through the week. So Friday night, the Southern Thunder Truck Series. We had a week off last week due to iRacing maintenance, so that ruled out the Iowa race, which was good news for me. It's only one round I'll miss. at Pocono on Friday night, which is one of my favourite tracks on the iRacing oval scene, the Tricky Triangle as it's dubbed. So going to miss out on that one as well. But that's happening on Friday night, broadcast here on Inside Lane Productions. And the Arca Sparks kicks off again with a new season on Saturday, season 2 starting for a 24-week season. So that'll stretch out to the end of the year. And Ruben Phelps won the first season of that one. And just on screen there, we've got the Blade GT mobile phone for our championship winner for season 2 of the Doogie Mobile and Everything Simulator OzOVals V8 Supercar Series. So championship leader currently, I think that was Troy Davidson, who's not here tonight, but only 1 point in front of Gary Wellman. So still anyone's race, as we're only round 6. We're only a third into the season. We've still got another 12 races to go. And if you want to support the series, you racing, hit up Kobe Jordan there for some stickers that were made up. You can slap them on your sim rig or on your PC case or window of your car, or wherever you want to put it, in the toilet.
Next to Jade Chandler's paint scheme.
Maybe Kobe can do up a paint scheme next week with just these sponsor stickers all over it. And
yeah,
free
sticker
promotion.
bomb, let's go.
Yep. I did try and make a sticker bomb paint once upon a time in an NASCAR car. It didn't look too bad, but I never actually ended up running it.
You should break that out for the next Southern Thunder race.
Looks like Adam Malone coming down pit lane now. So again, we're going to start seeing more of the field coming down pit lane. It won't be long for our race leaders to come in. Maybe Adam Malone trying to get a little bit of a jump on his teammates there. Maybe Ryan Barber slowly falling back from Andy at the moment. Adam Malone still in pit lane. Been a pretty dominant race tonight for Andy Barber. And Ryan Barber running the top 2 most of the night. Kate Donnelly coming pit lane this time round. Shannon Wright getting real close to the wall up there.
Yeah.
Nice and easy into pit lane there, no mistakes. Looks like that's the tyre limit for everyone. So Todd Maxfield, Matty Ray with the meatball now, Nicholas Walsh with the meatball. Andy Barber coming in pit lane this time. Ryan Barber following in. Pit lanes lighting up. Nice little park job there. I'm not sure who's out in front of Matty Ray. It's Ruben Phelps. Maybe just need the rear end checked on that car. Well,
Good enough.
That's one way to point your car out of your pit stall so you don't hit someone.
Right?
Hmm. Wonder if that saves a little bit of time leaving pit lane pointing that way. So who knows?
Well, I know what I'm testing when I wake up tomorrow morning.
Any little advantage you can get, eh?
Yes, sir.
Well, you saw it here first on Inside Lane Productions, and thanks to Ruben Phelps, the secret's out of the bag on that one.
Truly the big brain strat.
Rick Vincent yet to pit, but he will lead a few more laps of this race.
I'm not even gonna predict anymore at this point.
I mean, we're probably going to be at this same point at lap 110. So there you go. There's Rick Vincent coming down pit lane now, James. So you didn't have to call that one.
I was this close to just saying he's probably gonna pit this lap for all we know.
Well,
Yeah,
settling out there. Yep.
Yeah, the barber and barber show is just turning into the barber show, and he's starting to put a little bit of a gap. We saw it almost 2 seconds before the pit stop. Although, wow, Ryan really closed up this lap, cut almost half a second off.
That just gave me a little bit of a throwback to a TV series that watched with the kids that Andy just Kobe just mentioned there, the barber shop, but I think it was on Netflix. There was a cartoon series called The Bread Barber Shop that I used to watch with the kids. It's a piece of toast that used to cut haircuts and stuff and do fancy hairstyles on like different food animated characters, like with the muffins and cakes and grapes and all sorts of stuff. It was pretty funny.
I mean, hey, you gotta get that bread somehow.
Yep. Well, you'll have to look that series up, Bread Barbershop, if you want a bit of a laugh. Yep. Not sure if Ryan put the foot down or if Andy eased off there, but that gap closed up between them. Just under a second there. Maybe they might need to slow down to let Adam Malone catch up as well.
Yeah.
Or the rest of the field, make this race a bit more interesting.
Yeah, you know you're dominant when 5th place is 22 seconds behind. Hoy.
Yeah, it's a long way back to Phelps there in 5th for your top 5. And 35 seconds back to 9th, the last car, Kim Roffey on the lead lap. Shannon Wright down pit lane. Meatball sub. It's only going to be a 4-inch tyre change there. Those front tyres locked up a long way back coming into his pit box there as well.
Yeah.
Well, Jade Chandler had a disconnect but come back. I don't think he's coming back on track. And Troy Mortensen hanging up the towel. Rather drive a tractor than these cars, apparently. Yeah. Let's see if we can drag him into the booth since he's hung up the towel. We'll have a chat with him. Good evening, Troy Mortensen.
I think he went to go drive that tractor.
Yeah, I think so too. or he went to go meet Kobe's friend John and, William. John. Oh no, I fucked that one up now.
Oh man, man, man. Yeah, this one's flushed. Somebody please wreck. This is what has become of us.
Well, this broadcast just become R18. Sorry, we're going to have to make this subscribers only. And we don't even have the Derek Jacobs OnlyFans show on tonight either.
It's for the best. I don't think anyone wants an Inside Lane Productions OnlyFans. No one wants to see inside that lane.
Well, there goes Troy back to his channel. I don't think he wanted a word on that one tonight.
Yeah. So, anyways, the name, obviously, many people are familiar with this racetrack being known as Twin Ring Motegi. However, in the last couple of years, it was actually rebranded to Mobility Resort Motegi. No one understands why.
Well, if it's based on the race pace from everyone tonight, then they're probably just running mobility scooters around there.
Yeah.
Don't know if you've ever seen them. The people like to modify their mobility scooters a little bit, so they can pop monos, or they even modify the whole look of them so they look like a hot rod or something like that. Yeah, some look pretty cool.
I would absolutely run in a mobility scooter racing series.
We have lawnmower races over here, so they're pretty fun to ride on lawnmower races.
We do here as well, and those things are stupid in the best way possible. Lawnmowers should not be going that fast, but I'm very glad they do, because it is fun to watch, especially them just hanging off for dear life. It's like, you guys are psychos. Please continue.
Yep. Well, we're quickly coming to the closing stage of this race now, so 16 laps and counting. And it's just been a Barber show tonight. Andy Barber still out the front, just over half a second back. Ryan Barber, Adam Malone slowly been dropping back off the two Barbers throughout this race. And Cade Donnelly, even though he sustained that little bit of front bar damage, still been holding on to fourth place for most of the night.
Yeah, and when he brought it down for his second stop, it looked almost pristine. Like, I don't know if Cade waited to get the damage fixed or not, but when he came down for that second stop, you wouldn't have known that that car was in any sort of incident.
Yeah, didn't actually check that one, but maybe Kobe can get a look on that front bar as well. But just thinking to myself there that that race visor on Ryan Barber's helmet looks illegal. The tint's just too dark, so Maybe he's got no sun in his eyes. Maybe that's why they're so quick tonight. Might have to get that one checked after the race. Yeah,
Well,
he's even in a suit. He come straight from the office and jumped in the car to race.
when you have a meeting at 5 and a race at 5:30.
Alrighty, well, now we've got Troy Mortensen up in the booth with us. Troy, you got a copy now?
I do. How are you?
Yeah, we're pretty good. We've just been hanging out here for the last hour or so and trying not to get banned on YouTube. And
Yeah, well, you're going a good way
going
about
well.
it. That was actually a good line, that one, actually, I thought. 'Cause that's exactly how I think of these cars.
Kim Roffey coming down pit lane. So, how'd the night go for you, Troy?
Yeah, no, not good. I guess when you don't do practice, you just rock up to the race, you don't do too well. But anyway, it is what it is, isn't it?
Yeah, I did say that at the start of the broadcast. Who was put in the work for tonight, and who was just going to rock up and let the natural talent shine. But don't know how many had that natural talent tonight. But we definitely know who put the work in tonight. That's for sure.
That's it. Two barbers are going pretty well. There's a big gap between second and third, I saw, but so I guess Ads better do some more practice next week, I think.
You tell them there. Matty Ray getting nice and close there to Todd Maxman, pushing him through the corner. Just tell him to get out of the way. I'm coming through.
Yeah, he shipped him all the way to Kyoto with that one.
But no, I was getting hot and I'm hungry and I haven't cooked any yet, so I thought I'd just pull up and start cooking, I guess, and sit back and watch the rest of the 24-hour that's on.
What's on the dinner menu tonight for Troy Mortensen?
Curried sausages, I think.
Ooh, complete sausages. Nice. Hopefully you got a toilet in your tractor for tomorrow.
No, he's making his own manure.
You gotta spread it out with the urea. Good one, boys.
He's making Jade's next paint scheme.
there was talk last week in the Simboys chat that if they're going to do that, and then you got to make sure you get into the top 10 to remove the paint. So whether they hold true to that, but I don't know how Jade's going.
Well, he's back in 16th, 48 laps down, so I don't think he's making the top 10 tonight, so we might see that paint again next week.
Next week, yeah. But yeah, it was a bit unfortunate in that first wreck when, I don't know what happened, but I thought I got through it, and then I got through the first initial one, and then Jade and somebody else were up against the wall, and I had nowhere to go, so hopefully it wasn't me that ruined his car completely. But
maybe you need to run a paint like that next week then too.
Yeah. or I just follow through with my threat and go shooting. Go for a hunt instead.
Well, maybe that's something we need to do next season here at OzOVals. Whoever does the dumbest thing, and I wanted to say a different word there, the dumbest thing, for the race the previous week. I've seen this in different leagues before. They make you run a learner paint job. But
yes,
maybe
the paint of shame.
Maybe we make the dumbest thing possible from the race. The driver has to run the paint of shame.
I'd race it.
That could be an interesting one. We might have to make that in a suggestion channel for next season. Bit of fun there on track.
It would be, yeah. But anyway, how much longer have we got on this race? Actually, to be honest,
there's another 2 hours, Troy. You're sitting there.
Coming to 6 to go.
Yeah, right. Well, we got 3 hours of the 24 to go. So. There you go.
Yeah, I'm surprised that to get rid of the poop paint, you have to finish top 10. I figured you would have had to finish in number 2 to get rid of that paint.
Oh god.
Anyways,
I mean,
we
if
got
you-
many more viewers going on here with the train wreck commentary going on.
Well, if he's got to finish top 2, then he gets to wipe the paint job.
there we go.
Sorry, go.
He's even got the toilet paper ready to go on the front bonnet, see?
I think there's a roll on the back bumper too. I think.
Oh. I wasn't expecting that one. I was expecting that.
Oh, that's just got even worse.
We have gone off the rails. Anyways, 4 laps to go, and we have a battle for the lead with father and son here.
Who hasn't lost it? We might need to get them to call the rest of this race.
Oh. Truly one of the broadcasts of all time, fellas.
Well, that's what makes them, isn't it? Look
I
back
do
at
wanna
this
do a-
one and laugh.
I'd like to do a shout out with for Jason. He was doing pretty well until he did his pit stop entry.
Yeah, we did catch that one there, so you can get him to go watch the broadcast back and have a look at that one.
Might have to get Sheedy to get him a learn a paint job for next week.
Well, 3 laps to go, half a second gap between the barbers. So Ryan had that down to 2/10, but just slipped back a little bit, getting around some lap traffic.
Yeah, he wiggled a little bit, which cost him some time, and he's struggling to get it back.
Turn 1 and 2 is not too bad. I didn't have any trouble with that. It's 3 and 4. You sort of think you can get onto the gas a bit more, a bit earlier, and it just pushes you up into the wall.
Yeah, you always have to get on the brakes and let off a lot more than you think, and it trips you up a lot. Oh, but Ryan's back.
Well, you can see there he come in pretty hot to that corner and
Yeah.
need to brake that little bit longer and lost a little bit of distance again. So driving in too hard and you'll lose that time. But we are white flag and final lap here at Motegi. Matty Ray just in front of the leaders. About to get put down a lap unless he can hold on. Ryan Barber looking to make a
he's
move.
there.
Oh, it's
He's
a Barber
there.
drag race. It's Andy
That is
Barber's
Andy.
gonna get that one.
Dad takes the dub. Wow, that got close.
Oh yeah. Oh,
Southern
Yes,
Stars
yeah.
lockout.
there's our results for tonight. So Andy Barber and Ryan Barber, the race of the Barbers tonight, with Adam Malone on the podium. Southern Stars lockout. Kate Donnelly coming home 4th. Ruben Phelps at the top 5. Wellman in 6th. Matty Race 7th. Just holding on to the lead lap as well there. So 7 cars on the lead lap. Todd Maxfield, first car a lap down in 8th. Rick Vincent 9th. Colin Bennett, your top 10.
And in P11, we have the 222 of Nicholas Walsh. 12th is Kim Rafi. I think that's actually where they started the race. Shannon Wright in the 023, finishing 13th. Troy Mortensen in finishing in 14th. Jason Tireman in 15th, Jade Chandler in 16th, Tom Pritchard in 17th, and Scott McClintock in 18th.
Nice little celebratory there for Adam Malone making the Southern podium, and then a dual burnout there for the Barbers. Well-deserved burnout there, and Southern Stars celebrating big tonight. But now they're going to have to do some car work. So clean car, and Andy had to go and butcher that one. So, but I'm sure the Bill will fix up that one. Wellman going backwards and trying to do a burnout in pit lane by the look of it, alongside the track there, a little bit further up. Anyways, we'll go to a quick air break. We'll get our podium up in the booth and we'll have a chat with them. So don't...
Here at TWRS, we're always here to help our squad when they need a little push in the right direction. That's just who we are. We're a beautifully diverse group of goofballs dedicated to driving fake race cars as fast as possible. And we continue to push each other to the front using the power of nonsense. We have one of the strongest NASCAR programs on the service, and you can access it all for $24.99 a month. And we just released individual subscriptions for $14.99 a month for each NASCAR vehicle. We also just added a Rallycross program, and our IndyCar program is taking off as well. So come join the weird side. We have speed and cookies. Cookies are not included in some locations.
You've got what it takes.
Ladies and gentlemen, ready for countdown. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, ignition.
Dearly beloved, we are gathered in this thing called life. Electric word like the wind's swirling, that's my long time. I'm gonna take something else.
2 decades have shaped the world.
Man, this is some of the greatest stuff I've ever heard. Ooh.
These go to 11.
If you love the thrill of racing but hate the risks, then buckle up. Everything Simulated is here to merge adrenaline with absolute safety. In a world where technology meets adrenaline, Everything Simulated is revolutionizing driver training with state-of-the-art simulators. From truck training to the thrill of motorsports, our simulators offer the most realistic experiences across all automotive applications. Gone are the days of endless bookwork and basic drills. Now it's all about hands-on, pulse-pounding action that prepares you for the real deal. Whether you're maneuvering a heavy mining vehicle or racing a high-speed car, our simulators, equipped with cutting-edge technology from leaders like Simrigs and TrackRacer, bring every nuance of the drive to life. And talk about making a mark. We're not just building simulators, we're fostering talent. From grassroots motorsports to professional series like the Aussie Outlaw GT3, sponsored by us, Everything Simulated is fueling dreams and careers. Ready to feel the excitement of the racetrack under your fingertips? Connect with us, and let's build your next simulator adventure together. Remember, we support those who support us. Join the Everything Simulated family, and let's race towards the future.
Alrighty, welcome back everyone tuning in with us tonight for round 6 at Mobility Resort Motegi. And we've got our podium in the booth, starting off with Adam Malone. Good evening, Adam.
How you going, Paul?
Yeah, not too bad, mate. Bit of a spanner in the works track tonight with Motegi. Not usually common run track for us in Australia on the Oval Series.
No, like it's the first time I've driven on this track, and the only practice I had was that 45-minute practice we got before the race, and I wasn't expecting a 1, 2, 3 and being on the podium.
Well, start of the broadcast, as you said, we'll find out who's done the practice tonight and who's got the natural talent. So by the sound of that one, with only having 45 minutes to learn the track and get a feel for it, you got that natural talent shining through tonight.
Yeah, it must. So yeah, no, I'm stoked. I can't complain. And Andy being up the front and Ryan coming in second. That's a Southern Stars podium.
Yeah, it was good results for the team tonight, and definitely for Andy running out of fuel last week, so he'll be happy to get that the win and the podium. So after what could have been last week. But tell us about the race. How did you find the tyre wear with the car tonight?
There was no fuel strategy played in that one, but the had to be careful with that right front. The right front, if you push too hard into the corners and out of the corner, it would just chew it up. So we had to try to manage that, and we found a way in that practice, the 45-minute practice, how to do that, and it actually paid off pretty good.
Yeah, nice. Didn't think that there was much of a fuel save with the Barbers taking off like a rocket. So good to see a little bit of a strategy change up in the racing as well. But good job on the podium tonight. We'll let you have a shout out to your sponsors.
Yeah, big shout out to you guys for doing the broadcast and KB for putting the series on. I think I might let Ryan or Andy chuck in all our sponsors. I don't think he's on to hear it 3 times.
I was waiting for that one. I was like, who's he going to throw under the bus for this one? So we'll let one of the other two fight it out for that one. But I'm sure we know who that's going to at the end of the podium. So all good. Thanks for turning up tonight. Smaller field, and obviously a podium for you and the team. So good job there.
Yeah, cheers, boys.
Alrighty, we'll pass you over to James for second place.
All right, Ryan Barber, you got a copy?
Yeah, mate.
Oh man, that you put a hurt on the entire field. That was one of the most dominant performances we've seen in the series. First of all, I gotta ask, how'd you do it?
Well, earlier today, Dad and I were doing practice. Just ate a lot of meatballs. Got a few meatballs during that. Just figuring out, how quick or slow we have to be to, maintain those tires. As Adam said before, if you push a bit too hard with that front right through 1 and 2, or obviously 3 and 4, it will accelerate your wear. So you just got to try and manage that. But yeah, it was just all about tire management in this race. Fuel saving was completely out the window for this one.
Yeah, and we saw you almost kind of hit pops there for the win right at the end. Did you think you were going to have a shot right there here in the closing laps?
I will admit that was a plan, just to go side by side across the line. I was never going to take the win. Dad obviously worked really hard throughout to get to where he was. So, towards 5 laps to go, we're just like, you know what? Why don't we just do a formation across the line? So we're like, you know what? Let's just do it. So I could have taken it if I'd pushed harder, but then again, you're risking tyre wear, you know, trying to make overtakes. So the safer option for me was just to sit behind him, and obviously he's ahead in the championship. He needs the points to catch up to Gary. But I did get the fastest lap of the race though, so that's something I can flex with Dad. But apart from that, you know, he dominated, and yeah, I just wanted to make sure he got his reward.
Yeah, and one last question. Take us through how difficult it was trying to get onto pit road. I think this is one of the hardest pit road entries we have on the schedule, and it caught out a few guys tonight. Take us through how nerve-wracking it is trying to get on the pit road here at Motegi.
Yeah, pit road is pretty awkward. Where they've set the entry up, it's a bit difficult to get down, but you know, in practice we figured it out. But the first pit cycle, I watched Dad lock his rears up as we came into the pit entry, and I had a bit of a heart attack. But apart from that, we'll just, you know, getting down to the pit speed limit, putting on the limiter early, and then just getting to that pit speed limit. So apart from that, you're just trying to get in easy, get in your box, and get out. It's pretty simple, but with this pit entry being a bit awkward, you know, I'm not surprised that it caught a few people out.
All right, well, that was an absolutely incredible run. And any sponsors, plugs, and shout-outs you want to give before Pop takes care of all the rest of the sponsors?
Yeah, of course. First of all, I'd like to thank Kobe for hosting this. We wouldn't be racing it without him, and when he did do that setup update today, it did go a long way to our race anyway, so it's a big thank you to him. Big thank you to my grandparents that watched the broadcast. Obviously, congratulations to Dad and Adam for their positions, but I think I'll throw Dad under the bus. He can name the sponsors when he talked to him, but yeah, just thank you to the league and thank you to the broadcast.
All right, well, heck of a run tonight, and hopefully we're talking to you again next week. And then I will pass it over to Paul for our race winner.
Alrighty, well, Ryan's going to pass the mic over to Andy now as well. So, the man of the moment, Andy Barber, how you going?
Not too bad, Paul. How you doing, buddy?
Yeah, good. I'm just picturing in my head at the moment while we were talking and listening there to Ryan, and you know, as he said, he could have taken that moment away from me on that final corner, but as he lined up side by side there to cross the finish, and I was just picturing in my head a bit of a Homer Simpson and Bart Simpson strangling moment going on there.
Yeah, that'd be a pretty accurate description, I'd say. But no, we talked about it last 3-4 laps. I'm like, you know, how do we want to do this? Because, you know, I was trying to get him off me, but he was sticking in my draft and just kind of sticking with me being a nuisance. So I knew he was going to be there towards the end, and yeah, we just decided to run it the way that we ran it most of the night.
Yeah, I did see a couple of times that the headlight flashes were going on as well, if you were looking in your mirror.
Yeah, no, I thanked him for those. I appreciated it.
Yeah, I'm surprised there was no brake light checkups there, but keep him honest.
Mate, it did cross my mind, trust me, but we had a bit on the line tonight, so yeah, it was a very good race, and definitely a tyre race. Fuel was obviously out the window with the 50% drop, and I finally got my fuel calculations right tonight, and I finished with enough, so that was probably my primary goal, and yeah, just really surprised with how well we ran tonight. So no, it was good effort by the team.
Yeah, good job there for the whole team there, and yeah, obviously the practice, as I say, practice makes perfect. So that was a pretty perfect race for you tonight.
Yeah, it's a bit of an unusual track, and with the both different corners each end, and I spent a bit of time trying to work out how to do it, and was even changing things this afternoon prior to the race. So yeah, we're just glad that it all worked, and we shared that across us, and it's just unfortunate Tom had to leave because he was up there as well. So yeah, no, just credit to the boys, and yeah, just put in the hard work, and we got the result.
Well, hard work pays off, so well done to you and Southern Stars. So we'll let you have a moment, since no one else wanted to do it and making you do it, that you can have a shout out to your sponsors.
Yeah, no worries at all. Just thanks to you guys for the broadcast and the commentary. As usual, we like to go back and watch it. And yeah, RBI Trading Cards, Mrs. Excel Garage, 7-Eleven, Sydney Pool Servicing as well, our new sponsor for this season. Make sure you hit them up online. And yeah, just lastly, the folks watching up at Takura this evening. So shout out to those guys too. But congratulations to the podium, and thanks for the broadcast.
Alrighty, well, I'm sure that one's going in your favourites list tonight, so be able to watch that back another time.
Yeah, thanks, boys.
Anyways, we'll let you go. We'll let your team celebrate, and have a good night.
Thank you.
James, bit of a wrap up there. So the Barber Show and Southern Stars show tonight at Motegi.
Yeah, that was truly one of the most dominating performances we've seen since I've been a part of this, at any rate. And you know, you gotta tip your hat and go, oh wow, because yeah, that was a incredible performance by the both of them. And you know, we definitely got some interesting moments tonight. So interesting track, interesting race.
Yeah, I was looking forward to this race, and obviously the track was a make or break for some drivers, and yeah, obviously might need to put a little bit more practice in on that track, but I don't think we'll be seeing that track too soon anyway. But next week we'll be at Michigan International Speedway. So we were there in the trucks 2 weeks ago, and we're coming back again. So I'm sure everyone will enjoy coming back to Michigan yet again. I know I hated it in the trucks.
And I was just there.
I heard on that one as well. So get to relive it in the virtual world again.
Yes, sir. Looking forward to it.
Alrighty, well, we'll wrap up, and thanks everyone for tuning in tonight. Thanks to our sponsors, Digi Mobile, Everything Simulated, TWR Setups, 131 Web Radio Network, and Inside Lane Productions. Kobe Jordan behind the cameras, James Watson, and myself, Paul Jackson, in the booth. But for now, we wish you a good night.